to you live from Center Stage, and this is where we get to sit down and talk with the artists, bring the music to you. Jacob Stelly I've got with me, and we're hanging out at Mag's, the new place tonight.
Oh yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Have you played at this new stage yet?
I have not. No, and this is the first time I've seen it actually. I love the old place. I fell in love with it, so
yes.
I was looking forward to seeing this place.
It's like coming back. I know that area is such a cool area, but seeing them move and grow and be in a really
absolutely
uptown place, the outstanding, great ownership. Now you just released a brand new album.
Yes.
Moondog, which is killer. Now Dalton did send it to me a little bit early,
Nice.
I have been jamming to it for a little bit. Do you have a favorite song so far?
Man, I don't know. I guess each one is so different, and Moondog's weird because it was kind of compiled over like a year and a half, and so we were sitting on some songs a lot longer than others. Loser is probably the last song on the record. It's probably my favorite, just because me and Jordan Nix wrote that, and it was one of the last ones to get added. But yeah, there's a lot of songs on there that I really love. Make a Little Room for Me, like the first track on the record, is one that Jordan Nix and Parker Ryan wrote, and I'm honored to be able to cut it. So, those two are probably my favorites.
And on that album, there's a lot of songs that we're all familiar with because you dropped a lot of singles. Coming up with that. So what was kind of like, all right, I've got to make sure I get these on the album? Was that kind of the thing?
Well, so when we were picking the songs for the record, when me and Dalton started working together, none of this was out. Nothing was. And the first one we did together was Dark Side of the Moon, which didn't end up on the record. And kind of the idea behind that was we put out Dark Side of the Moon, and then things started kind of rolling for us. And then we started working with Josh Serrato and all those guys down there at Melody Mountain. And that for us was kind of a chapter, from I guess bad things to Loser, the last track we recorded. That was kind of that chapter, and we kind of viewed that. That's the only reason Dark Side didn't make it on there. So those songs were kind of a collection and kind of a story of the past year and a half for us.
Well, you started to come to light. A lot of people started noticing you during 2020, which was a rough year. But as an artist, like trying to break in, and then it was like the world shutting down, did that kind of get discouraging for you?
Honestly, no. I think that it was, I could see how, right now where we are in our career right now, how that would be very discouraging for something like that to happen. But at the time, really it just bought us time, We weren't touring at the time, so it was just trying to get started. And a whole lot of that is I needed to sit down and write music. And if the pandemic hadn't have happened the way it did, I don't know if I would have dedicated so much time to writing and so much time to building relationships like Dalton and all that stuff. So I think in a lot of ways for us it was a blessing in disguise. So.
And working with Dalton, that's got to be a lot of fun. That guy is extremely creative. Do you get to write with him much?
I do. I recently we haven't been because he's just been so busy with, now he's married. Yeah, he's married. He's married now, and he's got, a whole slew of artists that are on not only on the roster of Honcho, but outside of that he works with, that he's pretty busy. So we used to write a lot more. We haven't got to write as much recently, but I mean, between Jordan Nix and Parker and Slade and Dalton, and there's always somebody to write with.
I gotta tell you, my favorite song that really turned me on to everything was Johnny Walker. I don't know if it's the guitar riff. Who came up with that? That is like the catchiest thing. I just remember I was running one day and it came on, and I was like, oh, I don't usually run to this stuff, but I can jam with this.
Well, I'm glad you like that. That was Dalton actually started a group message with a whole bunch of different artists, and it was a songwriting circle, and the whole idea was just to get songs out. And he had a topic that was like far away from home or something, and we had to write a song about that. And so I had an idea about writing a song inspired by my grandpa, and so that's where the lyrics came from. And then Dalton had the idea of doing like 4 on the floor kind of groovy vibe, and then my guitar player, Jack Pirtle, he came up with it.
It's so catchy.
It's a lot of fun, and it's fun live. It's by far, I think, both of our favorite songs to play live. So.
You've gotten to do a lot of touring. I noticed that you're going to be at Steamboat with us this year, and you were there last year as well.
I was.
And how was that adventure for you?
It was great. It was extremely intimidating. Steamboat's kind of a wild thing because there's so many artists, especially that you've looked up to before you ever get in music. All these artists that you look up to, and then you look up one day and you're sitting in a room with all of them, everybody just sitting around in a circle. So it's pretty wild. and very intimidating for the first trip. But this one, I'm a whole lot more prepared, and we're going to be full band this year. So
yeah, y'all were set up acoustically last time, so that's going to be exciting to see you full band out there. And I mean, back to the album, Moondog. How did you come up with the name Moondog?
So
this has got to be a story.
You know, it kind of like this. There's actually a movie, a Matthew McConaughey movie based around this idea of the Moondog, and to be honest, like people think that's what it's from, and it like loosely kind of is, but not really. I just started thinking about this character, and really, it's my grandpa was like the Moondog, and this dude who was kind of like a wanderer. And in Johnny Walker, there's a line in there that represents the Moondog, and that's kind of where it came from.
That's cool.
I think it kind of encapsulates what I'm trying to do and who I am and what this record was. So.
Man, I know a lot of artists when they put out an album, they kind of just like write it, you soak it all up. Have you had a chance to soak it all up yet with this album?
Man, I don't know. To be honest, I'm so excited about the music that we're about to put out on top of this.
Yeah.
I spent the first week kind of just. Parker Ryan actually texted me and he was like, you know what you should do? Just like stop writing, put everything to the side, and just like soak it up because it's a great record. And that meant a lot coming to one of my friends, you know. And so that week that it was out, the first week, I kind of sat back and just kind of soaked it all in. But I have to say now I'm like so excited about the next stuff. I'm so excited about the songs that I've written, in the past 6 months that we're about to go record. So
never stops.
Yeah.
That's the really cool thing. And when you drop this album, everyone drops them on like a Friday.
Yeah.
You chose a random Tuesday.
Yeah.
Is there something behind that? Or you're just like, I just want to get this out to everybody here.
I think me and Dalton, the past couple releases, we've always stressed out about, what day should we put it out, and we put all this thought and energy into it, and then like the last one, Zach Bryan and Co. Wetzel both dropped a record on the same day, and it was just like, you know what, the only way to combat that, the only way to make sure nobody else is going to put out a song or a record is to put it out on Tuesday. And so, yeah, we're like, screw it, let's just put it out on Tuesday.
Stelly Tuesdays, that's what I can start calling it now,
There we
right?
go, yeah. I liked it too, so we might just keep doing it. I don't know.
Well, I can't wait to hear more great music. Now, change it up just a little bit. Holidays are right around the corner. Do you love getting to spend time with family on Thanksgiving? Do you have like a tradition?
I can't wait. I'm so excited. We actually, we've been on the road nonstop for the past 3 or 4 months, every weekend, and so not next weekend, but the weekend after, and the following 2 weekends, we finally get a break, and I can't wait. We're getting 3 weekends in a row of no shows, no nothing, and I can't wait. I haven't seen my little brothers in 6 months, so yeah.
I bet the family is excited to see you.
I'm super excited.
And with the holidays, keep going with that. Do you have a favorite Christmas memory that you have?
Oh, a Christmas memory. I don't know. Every year I'm usually with my my whole family gets together, and my grandparents are the coolest people ever. And I guess 2 Christmases ago, my grandpa got on one knee again and kind of re-proposed to my grandma after 60 years of being together, and because her first ring was this little bitty tiny ring with no diamonds on it because he was too poor to buy her anything.
It's hard to afford that, yeah.
Yeah, and so he proposed to her with a big nice ring, and 60 years later, so it was really great.
That's a special moment.
Yeah.
And a lot of special moments with you with this music stuff. Have you found a favorite stage to play on yet?
Oh man, we opened up for Parker McCollum at Dickies Arena on New Year's last year, and I have to say that was probably the coolest, just strictly because we never
14,000 people singing back at you.
Never played an arena, so I think that took the cake, but that's a little bit unfair. I don't know, Mags, the old location at Mags was always a favorite of mine, and there's the Majestic in Arkansas is a great place, so and how can I forget the Blue Light? Blue Light's probably my favorite of all time in Lubbock, so yeah. And
how did you get your start? You knew this is what I wanted to do from day one.
Yeah.
You were going to do music.
I think there was a couple different times. I snuck out of my house in high school, and I went to College Station to Hurricane Harry's to watch Parker play back in, I guess, 2016 or something. And I remember I was standing there watching him play, and at that time there was probably like 200 people at that show, and I just remember thinking like, man, this is really great. Like, this is what I want to do. This is what songwriting is, you know. And so I remember that was a big turning point for me. But it really wasn't until I got with Dalton and really started kind of honing my craft as far as songwriting goes that I realized that it wasn't something that I wanted to do. It was something that I had to do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be happy, you know. So,
oh yeah, it's like your true calling. And every time I've seen you on stage, it is magical. So
Well,
thank you for putting out great music. Y'all check out Moondog, out everywhere. And you just never know when he's going to drop random music on a Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't know when
Never
it's coming
know.
next.
Yeah.
Jacob, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.